What is up, you cunts and cocks? Does this look familiar? We are officially 1 month out from the Season 2 premiere of Fallout, set in New Vegas. Please, everyone, give yourselves a round of applause. We've made it, boys. Now, this video is essentially going to be tying up my last final wishes, hopes, and really continuation of what the Fallout TV show is going to be later on. But now, right now, in Season 2, in New Vegas, needs to set the precedent of what the Fallout TV show is going to be looking like in the rest of the seasons. This is the time to prove that Fallout, the TV show, is not f***ing around. This season needs to prove everything. Before we actually get into all of this nonsense, I just want to do a quick rundown of my thoughts on the trailer. And I wrote notes down already, so we don't have to watch the trailer as I talk. This entire video is going to be my opinions and my thoughts of what I want to see in the Fallout TV show. I have a completely different version of what you want the show to be like. So if you have different opinions, that's okay, because we're allowed to have different opinions of how this really amazing show is going to look like. Second, this video is going to be an entire spoiler everything of both the Fallout New Vegas game and Season 1 of the Fallout TV show. So if you have not played New Vegas, the game, or seen Season 1 of Fallout, I highly suggest you don't watch this. So if you haven't seen it, go play New Vegas or watch Season 1 of the Fallout TV show. But really, you should be doing both anyways. But anyways, this entire video is all spoilers, so you have been warned. But anyways, so let's start it off. Around the 19-second mark, we get our first interaction of Lucy and the ghoul, and they're talking to a woman. I believe they're talking to a follower of the apocalypse, because if you keep watching the trailer, around the 22-second mark, if you see in the background, there's a guy in orange that comes walking out of a tent. I believe they are at the old Mormon fort where the followers of the apocalypse is set up. Unless they got captured by the Brotherhood and they're talking to someone from there, but I don't know. Anyways, moving on. In Season 1 of the Fallout TV show, we learn from Barbara Howard, Cooper Howard's wife, the ghoul, that Vault-Tec themselves dropped the bombs that started everything in the Fallout show. So, we are going to get more backstory of how the war actually came to be and how Vault-Tec eventually were the ones themselves that dropped the bombs that destroyed everything. Also, we are going to be getting pre-New Vegas is going to be in the show with Lucky 38, the Gamora, and the Tops in pre-war status. But the only question I really have is where's the Ultra Lux? Because around the 47-second mark of the trailer, you see Lucky 38, Gamora, and the Tops all in pre-war status. So unless they decide to change around the layout of how the casinos are set up, I can't really see where the Ultra Lux is. But if anyone else seen it, please let me know. Next, Lucy wakes up in a vault, sort of bloodied, like her shirt under her actual vault suit. And I'm guessing it's going to be Vault 21, the casino on the strip, maybe. I feel like it is because in Fallout New Vegas, there's also a vault that has been turned into a casino when you go further down past the Ultra Lux on the right, and right in front of it is the office of the NCR, which is another thing. But anyways, Victor, different actor, Mr. House, Caesar Legion, Novak, the Atomic Wrangler / Freeside, Rad Scorpions, the Kings, question mark, and Deathclaws are all going to be making an appearance in the TV show. Yes, I am so very fucking excited for that, because they're slowly, very, very slowly, going to be showing the canon ending of Fallout New Vegas, which is absolutely going to be the most controversial thing from the articles I've read and from the people's opinions I've seen. Whatever ending they're going to choose for Season 2 is going to be fucking controversial, because there are 4 different endings that you can go with in Fallout New Vegas, and I'm all here for the drama. But anyways, the Brotherhood of Steel is back in New Vegas, which brings up 2 major questions, and that is, in Fallout New Vegas, you, the player character, gets to meet the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel, and you dabble in the drama that's going on between Elder McNamara and Elder Hardin. Eventually, you yourself get to set who gets to lead the Brotherhood of Steel moving forward. Which brings up another question. Is the Fallout TV show going to dabble in any of the New Vegas DLC, like Dead Money, Old World Blues, any of that? Because in Dead Money, you get to meet Father Elijah, the guy who actually set up the Mojave chapter Brotherhood himself. But he got booted out for being too crazy and he went to the Sierra Madre Casino in the Grand Canyon and deal with all of that other stuff in the Dead Money DLC. Those are two very important things that deals with the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. Those are very, very important. Next, we are going to be getting more Barbara Howard backstory / filling in the puzzle pieces / Cooper Howard's and Mr. House's backstory plus Cooper Howard's own backstory of his time in the military. We are going to be getting all of that. Next, Hank's story continues / he finally goes to like the mega vaults in New Vegas, and we get to finally see how his story falls all into pieces. And the last thing from the trailer I want to mention is Snake Oil Guy is back in Fallout Season 2. The guy in Season 1 where he sold Thaddeus the equivalent to Jet, where at the very end he got shot in the neck with an arrow, but he was still able to live. Yeah, that guy is back in Season 2, so we're going to be seeing more Snake Oil Guy in Season 2 of the Fallout TV show. Alright, those are all of my thoughts on the trailer of Season 2 of the Fallout show. Now, let's actually go to my hopes and my dreams of what I want to see in Season 2 of the show. But before we actually do that, I'm going to tell you the timeline of Fallout. All of this information is going to be in the description, so if you want to see it yourself, you can just go in the description and it'll all be there. But this is how the timeline is from GameRant, from the article. The bombs dropped Saturday, October 23rd, 2077 at 9:42 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Fallout 76 is the earliest, with it being 2102. And then Fallout 1 is set 2161, Fallout 2 is 2241, Fallout 3 is the year 2277, Fallout New Vegas 2281. Fallout 4 is set 2287, and then the actual TV show is set in 2296. So, using that information of what year everything is set, including the TV show, that means the Fallout TV show and Fallout New Vegas is only 15 years apart. Which means anything that happened in Fallout New Vegas, it's going to just be only 15 years apart from the actual TV show that's happening. So a lot can happen. A lot of shit can happen. But anyways, here are all of my hopes from what I want to see in the Fallout TV show. First off, will we know if the cure for the Nightkin has been found / are we going to finally meet friendly or literally any kind of super mutants at all in the Fallout TV show? Because we saw a glimpse, a hand of super mutant, and we already know in Season 2 we're already getting Death Claws. There is an entire quest in Fallout New Vegas that deals with Marcus. Marcus is the leader of Jacobstown. Is essentially where Nightkin or any kind of like neutral or friendly super mutants can go to and like be in a safe haven with other people. And this really matters because, and there's an entire interaction with Marcus and a bunch of quests and a death of one of your companions to get a cure for the Nightkins. And I'm curious if Season 2 is going to be going that deep into the lore of Fallout New Vegas. Because you meet Marcus at the top of Black Mountain to deal with the radio signal that's essentially making all the Nightkin and every other super mutant frustrated and like go crazy or whatever. So I'm curious if the showrunners of Fallout, the TV show, and really Todd Howard himself is going to go that deep into the lore of Fallout New Vegas. Because if they do, I will be very massively impressed that they not only mentioned Marcus, but they also found a definitive cure for the Nightkin disease. But this is all up in the air. My next hope is cut content, because as any Fallout fan will know and will tell you, in Fallout New Vegas there is a shit ton of cut content, like a
I am the great mighty Pooh
of cut content. And I'm curious if the showrunners and really Todd Howard himself is gonna go into the mines of Obsidian and dig up everything that was cut from the original game and shove it into Fallout Season 2. Because if they do, that means we are going to be getting different appearances, literally different everything in Fallout Season 2 that we did not see at all in Fallout New Vegas, which is a follow-up question. Are they going to be adding any of this mountain load of cut content into an update in Fallout New Vegas? Already in the trailer, we already know that they already set up Novak completely different from the way the dinosaur is like facing and the pool inclusion. Who knows if any of that was cut content from the original game? And if it is, they are going to be nailing Fallout New Vegas in the TV show. But anyways, next one. 3 major ones. Joshua Graham, Leggett Lanius, Vulpes and Coulter, or Ulysses. Are they going to be mentioned at all? Slash, is there going to be a canon ending for what happens to the Great Khans? Because, as I mentioned before, in Fallout New Vegas, in the video game, there are 4 different endings that you can choose from. If you go the route of Caesar's Legion, anyone will tell you that their master plan with their alliance with the Great Khan, they're essentially going to be taking over and essentially swallowing them and making them into one faction under Caesar's Legion. And we already know from the trailer, Caesar's Legion is going to be in the TV show. Maybe a small part of it, maybe there's still a big massive force that needs to be dealt with in the show, who knows? Which brings up 2 major things. Whatever happened to the Great Khans? Because another thing that happened in the video games is, if you do it quietly enough, or if you do it stealthily enough, you can kill Papa Khan, who absolutely despises the NCR for what they did at Bitter Spring Massacre, where NCR troops just started killing women, children, and literally anyone they could see because, like, it got all confused or whatever. Someone else will take its place, and that's how you align the Great Khans to the side of the NCR. They play a massive role between, like, the NCR Caesar's Legion hate against each other. And I'm curious if they're going to show that the Great Khans are still like their own entity, or if they got swallowed by the Caesar's Legion. And that also brings up another great point. Joshua Graham, and Ulysses, and Vulpes and Coulter, and Leggett Lanius. Whatever happened to all of those people? Because if you ever played Honest Hearts, the DLC in Fallout New Vegas, you know who Joshua Graham is and how deeply important he is to the lore of the creation of Caesar's Legion, because he is the one who co-founded it with Caesar himself. And we all know, like, his lore of, like, the burned man in the video games and stuff like that. Fallout New Vegas has so much DLC that this TV show can use and, like, go off of. But anyways, Joshua Graham, the burned man, Ulysses, Vulpes and Coulter, Leggett Lanius, are any of these people going to be mentioned? Because they are absolutely crucial to the lore of Caesar's Legion. And if Caesar's Legion is going to be in the TV show, like, we need to know what happened to these people, right? Right? The TV show is going to be making a lot of these decisions. It's really up to you if you want Caesar to live or to die. But anyways, Nellis Air Force Base, Helios 1, Hoover Dam, Old Mormon Fort, Camp McCarran, or Boulder City. Are any of these places going to be shown or at least mentioned? Because all of these places are very, very important, especially Nellis Air Force Base. Because is Fallout the TV show going to mention the boomers at all? They're essentially a major, major part of Fallout New Vegas. Essentially, if you want their, like, blessing and their help to win against whatever faction you decide to choose at the very end. And also, what about Hoover Dam? That is essentially the thing that you, the player character, we're all fighting about in the game to claim Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam is very, very important to the game, but what about the TV show? Are we going to get a mention of Hoover Dam in the show? And also, are we going to get a mention of all that shit that goes down in Helios? Because we need to know what happened with Helios. Like, do we know which side decides to claim Archimedes, or literally show Lucy and Cooper Howard go to Helios 1 and claim Archimedes from themselves? What about Camp McCarran? Because that place is absolutely above everything else besides Hoover Dam and maybe Nellis Air Force Base, because that's essentially where everything goes down. You have to deal with all that drama also with, like, the Legion traitor and stuff like that. Next, Alice McLafferty, Julie Farkas, Yes Men Marcus, or Cheap Hanlon. Again, just like Joshua Graham, Leggett Lanius, and Vulpes and Coulter, and all those other people, are we going to get a mention of any of those people? Because they also kind of matter. Especially, Yes Man is literally one of the factions that you can side with after saying fuck you to literally everyone else in the game. If we saw Victor in the trailer, where's Yes Man? Whatever happened to him? And with Benny and all these other people? Are we going to know the canon ending of whatever happened with Crimson Caravan? Because in the video game, you can assign assassinate Alice McLafferty, and also go through that entire drama with the Van Gratz and all these other people. Also, another major thing in Fallout New Vegas is, are we going to know about any of these people? If you decide to talk to these people from all different places in Fallout New Vegas, you know that all of these people are former Enclave members, especially Arcade Gannon, because Arcade Gannon is literally one of your companions that you can have in the video game itself.
You activated Archimedes? What the hell are you thinking?
And we know in the TV show that they are mentioning and show the Enclave. So that brings up a question. Is the Fallout TV show going to be furthering the plot of whatever happened to the Enclave? And is the Enclave still a major issue in the Fallout TV show, right? My final big question is, are they going to mention the courier from the game at all? Because he is essentially the one who starts off all of these things in the final game itself. Is Benny gonna be mentioned at all? Especially because he was in collaboration with Yes Man. So really, that really brings up, is Benny's fate also going to be mentioned or canonized in the show itself? Who knows? But yes, that is all of my hopes and all my thoughts on the Fallout TV show 1 month before it comes out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and there's going to be one more video later on this month in November. Hope you also watch the Fallout show. But yeah.